So to set the record straight, no, I'm not the guy who plays Jared in the Subway sandwich eating commercial.
Jeff Beals is a professional speaker and international award-winning author of Self-Marketing Power, Branding Yourself as a Business of One. As a writer, college professor, radio talk show host, and television personality, Jeff has helped thousands worldwide build their own unique personal brands.
Every professional, regardless of what he or she does for a living, needs to become a celebrity in their own sphere of interest. You guys need to get a little bit famous. If you're around someone who you perceive to be a little bit better known than yourself, maybe on campus or in the community or in the broader world, whatever, if you're like most people, you're going to pay closer attention to that person. Listen to what they say. Laugh at their jokes, even if they're not all that funny. Be more into everything that that person is all about, because that's the power of celebrity in microcosm. That's what we want you to play with. You can go further in your careers and make a bigger difference in the world if people see you as a miniature celebrity.
In today's fast-paced global economy, business has never been more competitive. That means there is no longer room for shrinking violets. The marketplace is crowded and noisy, making it difficult for businesses and individuals to stand out. In his Self-Marketing Power presentations, Jeff Beals shows how to cut through the clutter and establish a positive and widely recognized reputation.
We have to think like politicians. I said think, not behave like politicians. We don't want to do that. In our lives, as regular professionals who want to take advantage of the art of self-marketing, we have a lot in common. We're in a lifelong series of campaigns, air quotes, trying to get elected to whatever it is that matters to us, and our voters are the people in our sphere of interest. So we are constantly campaigning for something. You have been since the day you started your profession, and you will be for the rest of your career.
While always humorous and entertaining, Jeff Beals' presentations deliver a great return on investment. You'll learn how to become an admired celebrity in your own sphere of interest, 3 philosophies on personal branding, how to develop a special area of self-marketing expertise and become a source for news stories, how to get more value from your networking efforts, and 8 rules of self-marketing success.
And the first one is kind of obvious if you think about it. It is be a positive thinker. Cynicists and pessimists tend to make lousy self-marketers and personal branders. The good celebrities in their sphere of interest are the sunny side up, curious risk takers. That's what we need to be positive. Every professional needs to have an area of self-marketing expertise. What I'm talking about is something that is related to what you do and who you are, but is fascinating to someone who doesn't do what you do. The third rule is that we always want to be prepared. The better job you do of becoming a celebrity in your own sphere of interest, the more unsolicited opportunities you're going to get. Rule number 4 is the positive sum game. It's the exact opposite of the zero-sum game, which says somebody wins and somebody loses. While we're leading our lives, go out of your way to find mutually beneficial win-win situations. Very similar to rule number 4 is rule number 5, which says everybody counts. Thomas Carlyle was a Scottish philosopher back in the 18th century, and Carlyle said, "A great man shows his greatness in the way he treats little men." The thing is, people who are tiny in their profession today can grow to become monsters at some point in the future. You're being watched, so act accordingly. They are looking. And the things you do when you assume no one is watching can be quite devastating to a career. We have to be perpetually professional. We can't let down that guard. We are never caught without our business cards. We always make sure we have our materials, at least in the trunk of our car, so if an opportunity comes up to talk with someone, they're there. Cell phones, how did we ever live without them? I remember I got my first one in 1994. It was about the size of this table over here. And back then it was kind of cool to have one, but now everyone's got two, and they're no big deal. But yet these things cause so much offensiveness and interrupted conversations with clients and meetings. Watch those little things. We have to say what we do in clear, concise language without trying to come off as a little too haughty or anything like that. What do you do? What do you do? So what do you do for a living? What do you do? We all ask that. We all get asked that. Well, sometimes when I'm really lucky, I can ask the question and I'll get an answer back that sounds more or less like this. Well, I engage progressive, forward-thinking Fortune 500 companies that are seeking to shift their paradigm and adopt more of a global platform. I work with them to help find strategic integrated management solutions which really boost their bottom line. I mean, I've traveled around the world. I've never stood on a global platform. I wouldn't recognize an integrated management whatever if it was sitting next to me on the metro. That is garbage language. It makes no sense. And people see through it.
Jeff Beals is an experienced speaker who weaves together research, personal experience, and humor. He's a storyteller who engages and motivates audience members, leaving them pondering the topic long after the presentation has ended.
I remember back when I was working as a college dean, we had this big job that opened up in our department. And you guys, this was a good job. This had its own office, it had a good salary, a nice title, a lot of responsibility, people who reported to this person. It was a good job. Well, fortunately, we got 100 resumes. 100 resumes. I've never had that many resumes for a job. But we did that day, and there was this one guy among all the 100 who on paper was perfect, ideal. It was almost as if we had written the job description based on his true life story. I couldn't believe it. It was like a dream come true. So then we get to the day of the in-person interviews. Well, this car pulls up into the visitor stall right below my office. A man gets out. He looks to be right about the age I thought this guy was. So for all intents and purposes, I knew it was him. I knew it was him. So I decided, okay, I'm going to watch him. I'm going to spy on him. And I'm up there in the window just watching his every move. Well, he opens up the back door of his car. He reaches into the back seat and he pulls out a tie. An untied necktie. He steps to the side, looks at the reflection of himself in the car window, and proceeds to tie his tie right there in our parking lot. I'm disappointed. I'm upstairs ticked off. I'm thinking to myself, that's not so professional to be tying your tie in the parking lot before the job interview. It got worse. He reached into the back seat of his car again. This time he pulled out something else. It wasn't very big. It was black and shiny and fit in the palm of his hand. Anyone care to guess what it was? An electric razor. That's right, a shaver. He steps to the side, looks at the reflection of himself in the car window, and proceeds to shave. Bzzz. Took forever. Bzzz. Shaved away, even got the nose hair. Wanted to make sure he looked good for this interview. Gets done shaving, tosses the razor in the back seat of his car, throws on this jacket, walks to the building. A couple minutes later, my phone rings. Jeff, your appointment's here. I go out, and sure enough, there he is. Clean shaven, well dressed, and quite handsome, actually. The guy did a fantastic job in that interview. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the best interviews I'll probably ever experience in my life. The guy was perfect. He would have been great for the job, and we didn't hire him. Almost did. Wanted to. It was very painful for me not to hire him. But I learned early on in the hiring process, if you ever get a red flag as the hiring manager, never ignore it. Never ignore it. And I had something screaming at me from the back of my head saying, don't do it, don't do it. He's going to be caught shaving in the board of directors room right before a major meeting. I couldn't take that risk. So he lost out on a great job. I lost out on a great candidate because he didn't remember that you're always being watched.
Jeff's speeches and workshops are built on real-world experience and methods designed to connect. His easy-to-apply self-marketing model delivers immediate benefits to all who attend.
You have no choice but to become a celebrity in your own sphere of interest. We are working in the most competitive economy in the history of human civilization. Sometimes in the whole job search game, in the networking game, when you're out there trying to become a celebrity in your sphere of interest, sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes you embarrass yourself or say the wrong thing or fall flat on your face or whatever the case may be. Stick your foot in your mouth, as they say. When that happens, you have to roll with the punches. Think like a business. You are a brand, an entity, a business unto yourself. Jealously guard the integrity of that brand while zealously promoting it. How does my little book stand out among 30 million books? How do you stand out among the people with whom you are competing and will continue to compete with? The answer is, be that celebrity in your sphere of interest. Make a commitment to being out there, be seen, see other people, be a part of the world. Have fun with it, make plans. Pat yourself on the back anytime you make new connections or get a new piece of business and enjoy it. So to set the record straight, no, I'm not the guy who plays Jared in the Subway sandwich eating commercial.